Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Drop-In Morning Show. It is Friday morning, and we are so excited that you are here tuning in as we stream live over on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. Brad Hughes is here, so you know it's going to be a good show. We got good news for you, holidays, wrapping up our theme, previewing next week, and so much more. So please do us all a favor. It's time to go fill up your coffee, and we'll be right back. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday, April 8th. Welcome to the Daily Drop-In Show. We're so thrilled you're here. Brad Hughes, how you doing this morning?
Rae Hughart, I'm doing better and better. I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to digging into another fun daily drop-in with you, friend. And this is truly one highlight of my week. How are you and how has your week been?
I love a good Friday Daily Drop-In with you, Brad. But I will say, when we logged on this morning before we went live, you told me you were okay with an exclamation point, which I think is the most perfect description of how you're supposed to be at 7 a.m. Eastern. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, always room to grow into the day, Rae. And it's an early start for both of us, but a welcome start, I'm going to say. And knowing that we're connecting with Teach Better family and friends at a distance, like Brian. Good morning, Brian, and happy Friday. So this is, an okay start means there's room to grow and room to get our engines revved up and get our energy higher. And you are the perfect person to do that with.
I so appreciate that, Brad. I will tell everyone right now, because we have a number of people popping in this morning, getting ready for the show and tuning in. I love seeing those numbers go up. Brad, we have some hard-hitting discussions that we need to have this morning with our Teach Better family. So I need everyone to really ensure that they are sharing this link, encouraging others to pop in, and making sure that all of our friends are here, because we have a big debate going on.
This may be the day where life-changing and career-changing news and information is shared. This is a not-to-be-missed episode here on the Friday Daily Drop-In. Hard-hitting news, incredible talk, and really, you could leave changed forever.
Forever. Yes. And I so appreciate that you understand the magnitude of what needs to be discussed today. Also, just as a spoiler alert, there's only 3 holidays on the calendar for today. And so we're going to change that by creating another holiday. We have a lot going on today.
Yeah, I think it's time for us to create the holidays that we need. And so, in the absence of anything specific on the calendar, we can create opportunities for ourselves to be happier, be more engaged, be more energetic, or just find the fun, find the shenanigans. It could be International Find the Shenanigans Day in honor of Rae Hughart and Teach Better.
Ooh, I do love that. Or to spread awareness. That's the other time that we need a holiday, to make sure that everyone's aware of major details. So that we're going to get into here in a second. Brad, I know it was a long week for so many educators. I know I was feeling it. First full week of April, everyone kind of getting into the nitty gritty. Can you share with me one highlight from your week?
There are so many. I joined a new school community, Alpine Public School in Kitchener, Ontario. Incredible staff, wonderful kids. It's a lovely, lovely school. I feel very privileged to have been shifted over there. I had a wonderful goodbye week with my previous school, Forest Hill. Again, lots of love, lots of memories shared. They had a send-off at the end of the school day, Rae, that completely caught me off guard and blew my mind. So I left feeling so appreciated and loved, which was exactly the legacy that I wanted to leave at any elementary school, where saying I love you and leading with love is part of our vocabulary, part of our daily approach. And so that's the same approach that I see a strong foundation for at my present school. And again, incredibly talented and dedicated staff really digging in during difficult times. We're working through widespread community illness right now in our district. We have a number of staff members who are off extended due to quarantine protocols. And unfortunately, our replacement staff are also sick and unable to work. So you can imagine the community stresses going on in any school where this is the case. And I'm just so grateful for our staff for continuing to rally as they can. And I think part of it is just sharing and understanding and an acknowledgement that this is tough. I've got a sign in my office, Ray, that says, "We can do hard things." And I believe that's true. However, do we have to do so many hard things at the same time? Can we just focus on one hard thing at a time? So anyway, I'm grateful to be where I am, and I feel that this is a school community where I can make a difference, and I can learn along with the community and improve my capacity, improve my practice too.
Brad, I think it's impossible for so many educators to think about changing schools at the beginning of April. After a legacy of time, I can only assume this is one of your new staff members. Is that true on in
Yeah,
the
I want to
comments?
welcome Keith Little to the broadcast, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about Keith. I'm getting to know Keith, but what I do
Yeah.
know is Keith and I are here for the shenanigans, and we've been able to engage in some shenanigans and some connective time with our students. And so Keith is absolutely among my favorite new staff members, and maybe just nudged up a little bit since he's tuning into the daily drop in. Brian Callahan, wonderful. Rachel, good morning. Oh my goodness, my Alpine staff is coming out. This is wonderful. Wonderful to
I
have
love
Rachel with us in the morning.
they came for the hard-hitting discussion that we're having, and so this is big. I will just go on record, Brad, because I know you need to, really get to know everybody in your new building. You're celebrating all these new relationships. Keith, I'll just confirm you're my favorite staff member. Done.
Yeah.
Done. Decision made.
Ray,
You
you can
know,
just put that out there. I have to be a little more circumspect because I want to make sure that every member of our staff knows that they're cared for, seen, and supported. So, I like how Keith put that challenge out to me, though. But you are
I love
absolutely my
it.
favorite first staff member to chime in on the daily drop in, Keith.
I love this. So fun. Okay, so Brad, starting new school this week. No big deal. Taking advantage of all the opportunities for shenanigans and building
Yeah,
new
as we do.
relationships. I love this. Good, good, good. I think that's a wonderful thing to celebrate for today. I love that.
Ray, what's making you happy and what's making you grateful and excited this week?
You know what? I'd love to see in the comments what your thoughts are, but this week I went to my favorite restaurant in the world. Like I talk about this restaurant all the time. It is in the city of Chicago, but truly it could be anywhere and it still would be my favorite restaurant in the world. So last evening I was able to have a wonderful dinner with my parents, which was so nice at this great restaurant in Chicago. It's called Piccolo Sonio. I love it. Highly recommend it. So that was definitely the highlight. But I will say, Brad, it's kind of cheating because I think anytime you're able to experience your favorite blank, then that of course becomes your, high moment from the week. So I hope that all of you have incorporated a moment of favorite into your week, and then that can be the highlight.
We'd love to hear and learn about your favorites. If you're tuning in live with us, feel free to put your favorite moment for the week. What made you happy, or maybe something you're looking forward to seeing and sharing and experiencing today. And Ray, isn't there something truly fulfilling and connecting about good food, especially when you're coming together at a table with loved ones or good friends?
Yes, my parents are wonderful to spend time with. I know I've talked about them on the show before. They are
Yeah.
just such a hoot. There is no one more enjoyable than those crazy couples, that crazy couple. And they like played hooky from work and
Oh,
like went into this date night in the city and then were lovely enough to invite me to dinner to end their evening, and it was great. So I love great food. Always wonderful to have good company. So important.
are you partial to Italian, or are there other cuisines that are really getting you excited?
Every cuisine is wonderful. I actually had Thai food this week, and I forget how much I love Thai food.
Mm.
I mean, I love all food. I think food is such an experience. It's such an activity in my world. But I will say there is a Piccolo Sonio. I order Ray's pasta, literally, because we have been friends with the owner for years. I love the staff there, and there's just nothing that tops Ray's pasta. It is what it is. Mhm. Love it.
Lorianne is letting us know that there's some family illness, and we're sorry for that. And that can be so energy intensive, Lori, whether you're sick or you're caring for a loved one. And And I know that our staff members are experiencing a lot of stress too, not only due to unfilled absences, but due to the stress of people who are required to stay home if they're ill. There's all kinds of stress and worry. I get it, associated with being at home. You worry about your colleagues, you worry about your kids. Some even worry about letting others down. And I want to reassure everybody, every staff member everywhere that's hearing this, if you're sick, stay home. Look after
Yeah.
yourself. Look after your loved ones. And your school team will rally. Your school team will understand, because that's exactly what we would ask of you if we had to stay home. So look after yourselves. There's no one more precious than you and your loved ones. I believe that 100%.
Such a good reminder, Brad. We all need those reminders because we've been saying it for months and months and months and months. But gosh, isn't it good to get those reminders? Be healthy. It's okay to stay home. Take care of the ones we love. There was a number of different messages this week that we received even from our internal Teach Better team, that people had to make choices to choose family above work, and we are choosing to celebrate it. That is absolutely what needs to be happening. So
I think it's essential for school leaders who might think to themselves, well, it goes without saying, but we have to say it. Colleague to colleague, it goes without saying, but we have to express empathy and understanding, because it could be us in that situation too. And we can hold that frustration or that worry or stress of not being at work at the same time as we can hold care for ourselves and our family. We can hold both at the same time, but we need school leaders to really be clear and explicit that staff need to look after themselves and the families, not just that they have permission to do so, but it's understood, and that school teams will rally to make sure that everyone is okay.
So, Brad, I know we had some hard-hitting discussion that we needed to have this morning. Holy cow, did the community show up? The comments are booming. I love that all of you are choosing to be so active in our discussion this morning.
Me too.
It does make the live show a little bit more fun for you and me personally when there's like all of our friends in the comments. It's really enjoyable.
It sure does. And it's everyone that's watching and listening that really energizes us. You guys are our batteries. And so Rae and I will show up no matter what, because we love each other's company, and we're here for all the shenanigans. But boy, interacting with an audience, there's nothing like it. It really puts the live in live.
It puts the live in live. I love that. Brad Hughes, I know hard-hitting discussion today. We really need our educators to show up in the comments. They're already modeling good behavior. Here's the question. We have to talk about alarm clocks. It has to happen. I need support. Brad Hughes, what's your opinion of alarm clock? What's an opinion of alarm clock?
Yeah, useful tool. Essential tool to make sure we're up and Adam. I tend to be a bit of a snoozer, Rae. Sometimes I can sleep through an alarm, or if it's just a radio waking, I can just kind of just doze back off. But you better believe that my alarm goes off to 5:25 Eastern every Friday morning to make sure I'm up and ready for sneaking in at just under the wire, just before daily drop in. But how have alarm clocks been either important or frustrating for you recently?
Alarm clocks are killing me this week, Brad. I need help because there has been 2 instances this week that have happened that are messing up my whole schedule. One of which is that I am also a snoozer, and I need to know how long you're allowed to snooze, because my issue is that I don't think I can get into the habit of snoozing ever again after this week, because I messed up my timing on waking up yesterday. And now I am like panicked when I wake up that I won't know what time it is. So yesterday my alarm went off and I got ready for the show, and typical morning, made coffee, turned on all the lights to go live. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong. Our guest didn't show up, Brad. Can you believe that? A guest not showing up for Daily Drop-In. And when I was messaging you, very, very stressed, Brad, oh no, we don't have a guest. What in the world? What are we going to do? It's time. We got to go live. I realized we were an hour early for the show, which was not great.
Well, I think that, Rae, that just speaks to the fact that we desperately need our own Teach Better production assistants. People who can, be our guides on the side. I mean, this is the real deal here. This is the big time. This is the morning show, the morning educator wake up show. We need to wake up, Rae, and we need to hire some Teach Better production assistants. And so maybe we can put a link in the comments to, I don't know, an application form to make sure that Rae and Brad are on air at the right time each and every day.
Are they going to come and wake me up with a gentle nudge as well? Because I got up in a panic yesterday thinking that I needed to be awake. And then, spoiler alert, an hour later, the guest showed up. It was a great show yesterday if you missed it. But I just don't know. I don't know what to do. And then this morning when the alarm went off, I was adamant. I was like, don't do what you did yesterday. Don't wake up and get ready an hour early. That's a terrible idea. And then I think the entire time I was like, I don't even know when the show starts anymore. I'm just so confused. I don't know when I need to be here. Alarm clocks are confusing.
Rae, what do you think of Rachel's suggestion here about an alarm that gradually wakes you up by increasing a natural light? She finds it less jarring, fewer alarm clocks rolled across the room. Love that, Rachel. Fewer casualties, less snarly you. Rachel, in addition to being a fantastic educator, I think maybe there is a side gig in marketing. I think that would be a great tagline for this alarm clock. Fewer casualties, less snarly you. Operators are standing by. Please call now.
I love that suggestion. I think that's what I need. I need something that wakes me up that I don't wake up in a jolt. Like, I think that was a part of the problem. But I also wonder about bedtimes. I mean, alarm clocks are important to wake up, but how much sleep do you need to be able to wake up and feel refreshed and fulfilled and ready to start the day? Brad, do you have a certain amount of hours that you need to sleep? I mean, for example, the show every morning for Daily Drop-In is at 7 a.m. Eastern. So if you need 8 hours of sleep and maybe you need 20 minutes to get ready before you jump on camera, I mean, what time are people going to bed these days?
I'm sometimes asleep on the couch in the early evening. Family will throw on something to watch and I'll be right into it for 10, 15 minutes and then I'll be asleep. And then often my family will tiptoe, the TV goes off and I'll be on the couch and I'll wake up, 11:30, 11:45 saying, where is everybody? Cover myself with a couple of blankets and just go back to sleep. And so I don't know how much sleep I actually need because sometimes, depending on if I'm napping or sleeping and my family says napping is one of my superpowers. Like I can just fall asleep at any time, anywhere, especially at home.
It's a great skill. Sleep is so important. It's a great skill.
Elijah's usually asleep by about 10 o'clock, 6 hours for him. Is there an ideal window of time, Rae, where, I mean, talk about snarly or avoiding getting snarly? Is there a minimum amount of time that, are you just fueled by staying on the go?
You know what? I have no idea. I think I need to do this study because last night I was up way too late. Like, I don't think I went to bed. And I'm saying this knowing that I usually go to bed at like 8 o'clock because I have no life. And like, I go to bed and I can, lounge and slowly fall asleep and not think twice about it. I went to bed last night, I think at like 12:30, which means, I mean, hey, here for the show, that's only about, 4 or 5 hours. I don't know. I think sleep is so important. I think everybody should get 12 hours of sleep. I think that's my opinion.
I want to shout out to Keith's suggestion here. Get up super early on weekends, and then you get to sleep in every other day of the week, which is that's a really cool twist.
I have to say, I do get up early on weekends just because I think a few people had mentioned, like, you have an internal alarm clock, which is not fun. You wish you could sleep in, like, very dramatically on the weekends. But I don't think that sleeping in on a weekday is going to work for me if I have to be here with all of you guys every morning. I don't know, Brad.
I think the idea is if you set your alarm for 4 a.m., Rae, on the weekends, and then, a 6 a.m. wake up on a weekday feels like sleeping in. So I don't know. That's a really cool twist on sort of positive anticipation. I get to sleep in. It's 6 a.m., but I get to sleep in because I get up at 4 a.m. on the weekends. I'm not sure. And one of our viewers, Brian, has roosters and chickens to wake him up too. So Rae, are roosters and chickens allowed in your neighborhood, or bylaws allow that?
You know what? I have no idea, but I'm sure going to look it up today. I would love a rooster and a chicken. I think my dogs would go a little crazy with that, but sign me up. Why not? Who knows?
Do your dogs wake you up? Like, do they make noise or paw or lick you awake or bark?
I want to confirm. My dogs are the laziest dogs. I have my puppy, who's not a puppy, but Alfred, who's snoozing right next to me, will not leave the bedroom until you like force him to get out, like a teenager. You're like pulling him out of bed. He sleeps all the time and is annoyed when you wake him up. He's like, ugh, I have to move from the bedroom to the office.
Yeah.
Such a pain. If it was up to him, he would stay in bed all day. And that's
Especially
not
if you make it.
inspiring when the puppy doesn't want to get up either. You're like, we should just all sleep. I don't know.
It's a family affair. It really is. You're sleeping, I'm sleeping. Let's just snooze.
Yeah, keep snoozing.
Yep.
Brad, I know we are so behind in the show. I think that our moment of appreciation on Happy Feed this morning is an appreciation for our favorite things and alarm clocks. Just saying.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
And appreciation for the opportunity to connect. I mean, regardless of whether it's in person or online or on a morning show or in comments, just the great gratitude for connecting. It's the connection that's making me happy today.
I love connections. You know, those are my favorite. That's awesome. Hey, we should probably get into our good news for this morning and then, anything else we're supposed to do since we're like 20 minutes behind. Sound good?
Sounds good. And after the break, I'll just speak. I'll just use every other word to speed us along.
That was really helpful. Good. I think everyone's going to have a really good show. We'll be right back. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. We are going to speed through some good news article stories. And we also have only 3 holidays today, but I'm claiming it as also being Alarm Clock Awareness Day, Friday, April 8th. So it'll be fine. Brad, do we have a good news article today to choose from, or we already have selected? Where are we at with that?
We have a choice of good news stories today, Ray. It's an either or. So we can either hear Lost in the Woods, or I should say Lost and Found in the Woods, or Lip Sync for Your Life.
Oh my goodness. I can't wait to see in the comments what people are interested for that one. Lip Sing for Your Life or Lost and
Found in the Woods. So if
you
you have a moment, if in the comments, if you just want to type woods or life or woods or sing, it's something in the woods or something about singing.
Yeah, I love it. Good morning. Good morning. I will say I do like both. So Brian's commenting that he wants both. I'm in the same boat. But Brad, is there one that you're leaning towards more than other? It looks like lip sync's gonna win, regardless.
Yeah, Lip Sync for Your Life. And this comes from goodnet.org, Ray. The headline is 5 surprising benefits of singing. Well, this might be one of those things that goes without saying as we started the show, but singing is good for the mind, body, and soul, helping relieve stress by reducing cortisol. It's known as the stress hormone. Singing may improve lung function in a way that's similar to deep breathing exercises. Hey, how about sleep, Ray? Singing could help your sleep be quieter. If your sleep is interrupted by snoring, suggestion is to try singing. It may improve memory and certainly, I can confirm, does help improve your mood. Ray, 5 surprising benefits of singing. And so if you are into lip syncing, you could be lip syncing for a healthier life.
I love that. Lip singing for a healthier life. Sign me up. I think singing is wonderful. I'm no good at it, but singing in the shower, humming to yourself. I mean, at great karaoke night, why not?
We've got a lot of comments saying that singing is the way to go. Rachel says we're speaking her language. We're singing your language, Rachel. And I know that
Brad, people say that they love the singing thing. What's their go-to lip sing or karaoke song? Because that is like a big debate. We want to hear from you. If somebody said, okay, friends, you got to lip sing for your life, what song you putting on to perform?
I'm just going to ask in the comments, what's your go-to lip sync song? I had a teaching colleague, about a decade ago, who would put on Ricky Martin every morning. And so Livin' La Vida Loca was her go-to song. So she'd roll up in her car, and especially in the nice weather, the windows are down, you hear Ricky Martin, and that was her go-to song. That was her pump-up song to get her in the right mood, the right frame of mind to start her teaching day with her grade 1s.
I love it. I see Paradise City. Okay, great. Jody is commenting, hold on for one more day, which I couldn't read without singing it in my head. So right? I know exactly what she's talking about there. And I can really, I feel like visualize her singing that, like very dramatically, lots of emotion. I really love this. I know music is a huge part of so many people's lives, but it's hard to pick just one song.
Total eclipse of the heart. I'm just thinking of Bonnie Tyler with the blonde hair and the backlit music video, and it's incredible.
And Walking on Sunshine, that's a good one. Yes, I did do some karaoke with Jody. Jody, maybe that's why it was so easy to visualize you singing karaoke, because it's a memory. That must be it. I love a good Walking on Sunshine. That's a great one. That's like a, pop with it. Brad, do you have a go-to karaoke song?
I don't, but I love singing along to all kinds of pop music. I'm a Swiftie, so I'll sing along to Taylor Swift or hits from the '80s. I love big hair rock, and Brian said Paradise City. So I'm good. I'm good to sing along with anything, but often you'll hear '80s pop and alt rock on my playlist, and I love those. I love those big pop tunes. Anything from Glee, and Jody was saying "Hold On for One More Day." So yeah.
I love all that. I think my go-to now, I'm going to try and remember this. I need to write this down maybe, because people ask you on occasion, right? Like, oh, what's your karaoke song? I never have an answer ever, because I wouldn't be found singing karaoke if I had the choice. I think I'm going to stick with Walking on Sunshine. I think that's a good go-to. I can remember it, like Rae and Sunshine kind of go together.
Right.
Walking on Sunshine. Thank you, Brian, for helping me with that this morning.
That's brilliant. I used to think "Walking on Sunshine" by Katrina and the Waves was pretty cheesy and really sort of felt overplayed. But now when I hear it, it's like okay, Katrina and the Waves. It's a wave of nostalgia. But yeah, it really does put me in a sunny frame of mind. I love the connection between Sunshine and Rae. That's really cool. And it reminds me that often if we're in a bit of a low mood, like just really faking it till you make it, like it can be, that energizing song that kind of gives you an unexpected lift. And before you know it, you've got a little bit of smile on your face, or you're out of your own head, you're out of your own thoughts, and you're singing along with something. It can be really helpful.
Well, Brad, on the days when your alarm clock doesn't go off, or it goes off too early, or you haven't gotten enough sleep, my go-to is to throw on a really energetic tune. Walking on Sunshine or anything in between. Make sure you incorporate some music in your day to add some energy. Maybe it could also be listen to good music day. Let's just claim that one as well.
Let's do that. Listen to your favorite music day, or share your favorite music day.
I love that. See, sharing music is it's really good. I will say, typically we have a whole long list of holidays. There's only 3 holidays today. So if you want to create a holiday, create it for April 8th, because there's not much going on officially on the official holiday list. But I will say it is World Empanada Day. So empanadas are definitely a delicious food. I think we should all go get a good empanada this morning. It's also All Is Ours Day. I don't know what that means, but I think it's about like relaxing and embracing the beauty of everything is what it says here. So a really interesting concept. And then also a good one, it's also World Zoo Lovers Day. So enjoying the zoo and all the amazing animals that don't need alarm clocks. They can sleep all day.
Enjoy your favorite zoo day. Sounds like a really wild opportunity to get up close and personal with some animals. And one of our favorite zoos is in the city of Brevard, town of Brevard in Florida. We're very impressed with that Brevard Zoo when we had our Florida vacations, and also really impressed with the commitment of the staff, recognizing that, zoos themselves can be problematic in terms of how people perceive the care for the animals. Where should the animals be out there? Anyway, their stewardship, environmental commitment, and their commitment to even learning through setbacks in terms of animal health and sharing out what they're learning is a really good thing to see. So just check out the Brevard Zoo if you're in Florida, or check out their website. It's a good visit.
So fun. I love a good zoo visit, especially when it's done wonderfully well like that. That's awesome. Brad, I think we need to get into our brainstorm bank, and then we have our favorite little song that we need to play to preview and recap the week. I did actually play it on Monday's show. Did you hear that?
I did not hear it, but I may have sensed it. I just may have sensed a tiny shift in the universe, Rae, but I'm glad that it got a little bit of extra airplay.
I needed it because it's my favorite song. So we'll be right back with Brainstorm Bank, but then we'll get into our favorite segment. All right, friends, we are going to get into a very quick brainstorm bank as we run very behind, but that's all right because we've had some really good discussion. We so appreciate you in the comments interacting with our live show this morning as we stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. If you are listening to this after the fact on Teach Better Talk podcast, we appreciate you listening, and we always love to hear from you. So feel free to take a screenshot or a photo of you listening, post it up on social media. Make sure to tag Brad and I. We always love to continue to engage with you throughout the day and even through the weekend to celebrate that you tuned in for the show. Brad, this week was all about lowering our stress to increase our capacity. So there's a lot discussed this week, but how do you lower your stress so you can increase your capacity?
Rae, I frequently look outwards for opportunities to serve and connect. So as I've been sharing with my staff members this week, service is really my engine. Service is what restores my energy. So you might think that's counterintuitive. You're expending energy to serve and to dig in, to connect, but I actually find it really restorative. So I'm a very happy educator that way. I find that looking outwards to opportunities to serve lowers my stress. I'm also purposeful about using some mindfulness techniques. I meditate. I use some deep breathing exercises, and I'm growing my capacity. I'm growing sort of my mental resilience to recognize it and to interrupt stressful thoughts and to shift back to the breath. And remembering that, from the beginning of from our first moments to our last moments, that it's that breath that's always with us. It's always with us. So it's something we can always return to. But boy, connecting and leveraging those relationships, right? That's also so important to maintaining that energy and to lowering stress, because stress puts a cap on our capacity, and it really prevents everything we're capable of doing and sharing from being realized. And that goes for our students too. As educators seeking opportunities to identify what stresses or what barriers or what worries or what setbacks are in our environment, if we can reduce them or limit them, or if we can get rid of them upstream before they affect students' capacity and students' capability, then we can do that too.
I love the concept of serving to increase your capacity, only because anytime you are serving, it typically means you're having that connection, maybe a conversation with others. I could tell you, I love the opportunity when I'm stressed to get in a really good laugh, right? It like resets your body to try and focus on what's important. I love the concept of, in a moment of stress, leaning into others, being able to spend time with others, maybe getting a good belly laugh in. That's a very, very fun way to lower our stress level.
Lisa Baylis is the author of Self-Compassion for Educators, and she's an author and a thinker that I really admire and looking forward to staying more deeply connected with. And reminds us that as educators, the stresses and demands on our emotional life and the emotional load that we carry, not just to deal with the challenges around us, but in order for us to remain calm, sometimes that means suppressing natural stresses and emotions. And Lisa calls that emotional load. So we always want to be aware of the emotional load that we're carrying as school leaders and individuals. We also want to be very aware and empathetic to the emotional load that people around us are carrying. And sometimes it just starts with just naming it. This is hard. This is hard. Or, ooh, this hurts. This is really challenging. And if you can name it to yourself or name it with a colleague, and you can problem solve through it together, or just maybe not even focus on solving anything, just be companions for one another in difficult moments, and acknowledge that community stress and expectation are very, very high at this time. I mean, really any time, but at this time especially. And just recognizing that the community will rally, the community will support each other as long as we're intentional.
So important. So good. We had a lot of ideas shared during the week about how people try to lower their stress to increase capacity. This reminder that it can be done by putting good people in our lives, and this can be done by taking moments to focus on our breath, I think is very in line with the type of dialogue we had this week.
Indeed. I mean, self-care is one thing, but we have to be really careful as school buildings or districts that we're not telling or directing educators to look after themselves. Nothing is more defeating than receiving an email with a bunch of wellness reminders. Well-intentioned they may be, but what we really need to do is to shift the conversation from self-care, that is, hey, look after yourself, remember, to community care. What are we doing as school leaders, as district leaders, or as individuals within a community that are creating conditions where faculty members and all staff members, all contributors to any learning community, are able to and have permission to look after themselves. And so that's a conversation I'm really excited to dig into with our school staff, shifting from look after yourself to what would it take to look after each other.
Gosh, what an interesting spin on something that has been so strongly emphasized over the last 2 years. I cannot tell you how many educators have been in conversation with me and mentioned how much of a struggle it is that everyone's telling them to take care of themselves. Everyone's communicating different strategies to be able to do that. But the frustration that they don't feel like they have the time to be able to implement the numerous strategies that are presented to them. I love this focus on community care more like over self-care, because self-care is an independent act. Community care is within, family and community. I think that is such a interesting perspective, Brad. I love that reminder on this Friday morning.
I want to give a shout out real quick, Ray, to our friends and colleagues at Happy Teacher Revolution. Happy Teacher Revolution is an organization, and it's a mindset, and it's a way of working that I want to learn and embrace, that makes it possible for school leaders like myself or other colleagues to be intentional about community care. So if you are a school leader, or if you're an individual educator looking for guidance and training on that shift, I encourage you to check out Happy Teacher Revolution.
So fun. We've had them on the show before. Mm-hmm. We need to invite them on the show again. Can you believe it, Brad? We only have like 2 more daily drop-in slots open until we take our summer break coming up here in just a few months. We have incredible guests booked, but we are almost fully booked until our summer break happens close to like June 3rd. I'm very, very excited for the guests that we bring on, but Happy Revolution is a great, great team over there.
Yeah, and I'm excited to dig into to a huge slate of wonderful guests as we approach summer break. Ray, when we go on break, if people tune into Daily Drop-In, are they just going to see like a test pattern?
I'm hoping that when they tune in, they go back and rewatch all the other episodes because, friends, we've been live every single morning, Monday through Friday, since August 2nd, which was a Monday morning. Because we said we want to start August 1st. August 1st was a Sunday. August 2nd, 2021 is when we officially launched this refresh of Daily Drop-In. And Brad, we have been live every single morning, Monday through Friday. And that includes, this was just reminded to me earlier this week, that included Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve when we track Santa together. There's been so many funny days. We were live for your birthday, Brad, which was so wonderful. I mean, all these days, Monday through Friday, there's a lot of episodes. So this summer, as we take a break and maybe sleep in a little bit more, there's plenty of episodes to go back and watch.
I'm not sure Brian's going to be able to sleep in with the roosters and chickens waking him up, but we do wish everybody, health, wellness, well-being, and a very happy day. And anything that we at Teach Better can do to start your day in a positive frame of mind with some information, with some inspiration, or, just some fun and silliness. We're here for it all.
Love it. Said so good. Don't worry, friends. We have a lot of time until that happens. Our last show won't be until the beginning of June. So you still can tune in with us every single morning, Monday through Friday. But Brad, I think we should get into our favorite segment because I love this song where we can recap the week and preview what's coming next week. You ready?
All ready.
Let's do it. All right, Brad, I know you never, ever, ever miss a show, but I think we should recap some of the week for people who may have missed an episode sometime this week and can kind of jump in to continue to see what episodes they want to go back and listen to. I love the Shenanigan Moments episode idea. I think that's really good.
That's a good one, Brian.
Yeah, on Monday this week, Jeff Gargas was live with us. So obviously we were able to kick off the week with the one and only Jeff Gargas. And that was a little bit of a shenanigan show from my memory because I remember clicking the incorrect commercials. I don't even remember why we did that, but I can tell you with that type of memory, I'm sure it was a little bit of a wacky show.
It was a wacky show. Some might say it was a sick episode, right?
Oh, there you go. I love it. On Tuesday, we had Dr. Lillian Ardell with us. She was able to really give us some strategies for stress that focused on meditation and breathing. And one of my favorites was the concept of, in a stressful moment, taking a sip of water. She had a very interesting approach with that, which I really did appreciate. So that was a fun opportunity there. On Wednesday, we had Adam Lester with us. Adam is a assistant principal, for the first time in his building. He had so much to be able to share, not only from an ELA teacher perspective, but now as a building leader. And he was actually just down the street from where I live.
Wow.
So he's an Illinois educator, which was kind of fun.
Really,
And
really
then
good.
on Thursday, we had Mona join us, who is
Right.
also a wonderful educator that was able to share a lot of insight. She did show up on time, even though I showed up an hour early. And she was wonderful to be able to learn from yesterday as well.
I'm sure Mona just thought it was because you were so excited to connect with her that you wanted to make sure that everything was done possible to make sure that you weren't late.
Absolutely. Our week next week has a new theme, Brad, and I think it's going to be an interesting theme for our friends here for the Daily Drop-In Morning Show. It's all about leadership practices. What are your thoughts on that?
Wow. I can't wait to dig into that topic as a school leader and also someone who's passionate about identifying and championing emerging leaders. Leadership exists wherever there's an opportunity to show a way forward. And I say a way very intentionally because often we put so much pressure on ourselves as individuals to have the right way or the right solution. There's a spectrum of different approaches to any given situation. But if you are willing to step in to the gap between the problem and a possible solution, that's leadership. And educators do that every single day. We're all leading from within, each and every one of us. So looking forward to a great conversation next week.
It's going to be a great dialogue. Obviously, on Monday morning, we will be joined by Jeff Gargas. He tries to join the show every Monday, so that will be a great way to kick off the week. On Tuesday, we have Caitlin Smith joining us, who might be a new face for some of you, but that will be a wonderful discussion there. On Wednesday, we have Jeff Gargas going live with Debbie. Debbie's a part of a lot of different areas within our Teach Better community, but is also an instructional coach. I'm sure we're able to dive into leadership. She participates very actively in our mastermind, our admin mastermind that we have. So that'll be a really interesting discussion there. And then on Thursday, we have, it looks like, I'm sorry, I'm looking here. It looks like we have PJ and Jamie Creek joining us. Oh, I just remembered who those are. I apologize. Yeah. They are authors of, okay, can I show you the book they wrote?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I know this is silly, but I'm so excited. So I don't know them personally, but they sent me a copy of their book, which is beautifully designed. It's an infographic book, and they are both educators that put together this incredible book that they shared with me all about U.S. presidents. I shared it earlier on my Instagram, kind of the beauty of this book and the incredible pictures that they're able to design. But what a fun opportunity to interview somebody that did such incredible work here and obviously is sharing their message worldwide.
I think it's exciting when we can talk with authors who are also educators and they're talking about how they create for audiences in new ways. And so what they're creating is meant to reach kids or reach an audience in a way that hasn't been done before. I'm looking forward to digging into that.
It's going to be so fun. And then Brad, I hope you're live with me next Friday.
Wouldn't miss it. I'll be here.
It's going to be great. Next Friday, I know is Good Friday. For many of you, you might be sleeping in just a little, but hopefully you can tune into Daily Drop-In next Friday, even if it's just, from the comfort of your couch with your warm cup of coffee, not getting ready for school. It's Good Friday for, I know, many people that are celebrating Easter. It's also the first day of Passover, which is very exciting. So lots of good things to celebrate next week.
Looking forward to it already.
Be so good. Brad, I know that we are going to say goodbye to our community here, but I do want to give a special shout out to those who participate in the comments. So fun to have you here, not only consuming some of the information that we've been able to share, but choosing to be an active participant this morning. Such a wonderful blessing. Brad, any words of insight before we head into an incredible Friday together?
As always, Rae, wishing you and all of our audience members, Teach Better family, a wonderful day ahead. Take the opportunity over the weekend to rest, relax, reconnect with the people, places, and things that you love. That'll charge your battery up so that you can go out there on Monday and do more amazing things. Thanks, Rae.
So important. Happy Friday, friends. Please let us know if you need anything, if our Teach Better family can do anything for you. And we will see you bright and early Monday morning. Have a great weekend. See you later.
Bye.